Hello and welcome into the SorareData Game Week 421 preview. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined as always by Quinny, who you can find conveniently as Quinny on Sorare.
Right.
Thank you everybody for joining. SR Monkey first again. Kev and It's Wilson also on the podium. Thank you guys for coming in. Blue Tomatoes is here as well. Nelson says SR Monkey is too early. I mean, there's just when you have some excitement for a Game Week preview with Quinny, I get it. So anyway. Kai and Charlie, what's up? Quinny, before we even get into the weekend, where did you end up playing your power cards this midweek?
I went all-star. Went all-star. So yeah, just went for it. The amount of people that messaged me, especially after the last show, was incredible. Just like, gonna tell me where you're playing? Like, I've got a Hearts team, I've got a Hibs team, I've got this, I've got that. I was thinking about this. What do you think? Because it was all Scottish, as you say. So yeah, a lot of good fun this midweek so far. Hibs playing last night. David Marshall, DNP, wiped out like all of the green side of Edinburgh last night. So that was interesting.
I was talking to our good friend Harry Trades, who is the classic U23 midweek specialist, and within minutes of the game week starting, he pointed to me that there were, if I remember this correctly, 5-player lineups in U23 Super Rare this midweek. Like nobody had a goalie, and I think I forget how many. It was something like absurd, like 12 rewards for 18 entries or something like that. It was so. I then saw that created some. Who was it? Alex was like, we should never give rewards out for midweeks like this. And understandably, everybody was like, that's a terrible idea. And we obviously want these midweek rewards. But I don't know. I feel like people plan for these like island games. And it's not like there are a ton of rewards out there. Obviously, there are going to be a lot more on the weekend anyway. So let's just have our fun. That's all.
Yeah. I think like the kind of solution to that, if one with Harry, it's like you're then saying, oh, well, U23 at certain levels won't be open because we've calculated that there's not, then it's just like, yeah, it gets too messy. You're coming into game weeks, you don't know if the competitions will be open or not, and other things like that. So yeah, I think it does get a bit messy. But yeah, it's one of those ones where particularly like the higher up you go, there is just less ability to play teams. And that's why, like, everyone who's playing this week feels like a winner. Like, everyone feels like I'm in amongst it. I've got a chance. I've seen a couple of posts as well, and it's like, like, this is my team. I really hope I've been lining up this game week for a while. And, like, it's good seeing people reach a little point in their strategy where they're like, right, okay, this is a moment where it should play off. It should kind of kick in. And one thing that I said to you after the last show that I meant to bring up when we were on was this game week that we're in is going to be a really interesting one at Limited for seeing the impact of collection bonus, because Celtic is a very, very well stacked team. And it's all going to be, it's basically the only team playing in a lot of respects. Mm-hmm. So like the leaderboard by the end will be a mixture of, like, also there'll be some difference in what player picks were there, but I think the leaderboard would be really interesting to look at and see the impact on collection bonus from, like, the sections of the rewards.
Yep. You're just saying that so we can point out that you're at the top of the leaderboard. That's all. I get it. Just kidding. I will say that the midweek, I rolled out a 4-man threshold team, and one of my 4 went off injured at 37 minutes. And it was like, man, this is an uphill battle that we might not be able to get. I'm going to show it on the screen here because I was extremely excited about this, to possibly get a reward with my Tony Watt signature card.
Hey,
love it. Not there. Robert Rojas off after whatever it was, 37. So we just need basically, 100 from my goalie captain, and then some prayers from Aberdeen. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the weekend. Genesis is in here saying, show me that PSG matchup score for 421. So I looked a little bit before. They're not as high as I thought they were going to be.
And Montpellier is a good game, but
what I mean by that is because they're just not like the first one, because of course we have Beijing, Guoan at the top.
Yep,
as we always do. But really, it's Man City home against Bournemouth. Then we've got Porto, Hajduk Split, Actually, I want to take those 3 out because they're all at home. But after that, we do have like some big away favorites: Feyenoord, PSV, Liverpool, Celtic, all away, and then we get into the big home favorite, the big teams' home favorites: Galatasaray, Sporting. There's PSG, Real Madrid, Benfica are away, I guess, and then Fenerbahce further down. But I don't know. Looks like a regular game week to me. I just noticed that those bigger favorites. I mean, obviously, you would expect Feyenoord to take care of business against Walwick, PSV against Heracles, and Liverpool away to Luton. But they're away. Never know. Never know.
I think those are 3 stellar games. I was already kind of looking ahead to the weekend quite quickly after we locked into the midweek because there's nothing else on, thankfully. You just need to watch out for some cup games, like who did have a game. And there's a lot of Spanish cup games on like right now. And like basically for this round, it's basically La Liga versus the pub teams and stuff like that. So they've played like everyone that normally plays on the bench from the notifications I've been getting and stuff. So feels it's a nice week in a midweek where you know your guys are probably getting rested up a little bit, you know, and they're getting a proper workout of training, proper recovery sessions and stuff. But so looking into the fixtures as a Sorare manager, we're in the same position as well. Don't need to worry about Champions League and who's going to play and who played 95 minutes in Europa League on Thursday night and all that kind of stuff. And they were the late kickoff also, or you know, whatever it is. We don't have any of that. But if you're looking at the fixtures this weekend, we've got Bayern versus Dortmund. I think it might be something like AC Juve or something as well, or I'm not too sure if there's a big game in Italy. But anyway, there's so a few of the bigger teams are tied up. Barca are playing Sociedad. And yeah, so when you look at that list there, like there's some of the normal teams we expect to see up at the top, if you know what I mean. But there's a few more games that are at top of the table, or a bit more competitive kind of games that are around Europe this week.
Yeah. And let's get into them. Let's start with our favorite second division. Angers at the top. Dusseldorf, Hamburg. Shout out to Gator guy on that one. Parma and Hanover, the top 5. I'm guessing Reggiana is playing. Yeah, Calcio Lecco probably got promoted, which is why their matchup indicators are so wonky like that. But we just haven't played enough Serie B matches yet this season to get that out. But nobody above 60% win percentage, which is it's a bit strange actually. We usually have at least a couple of them that are over that, but 59% is the ceiling this week. And I don't know. We'll see. I will point out Saint Etienne lost their starting goalkeeper for the next 2 months, excuse me. So there's a little bit of a change there, but Leicester Leeds, a nice one for the non-card holders, just because you're not expecting those 2 teams that have been putting up some pretty good scores.
Totally.
To do that this week.
Yeah.
I've heard already calling out Ao Tanaka.
Yeah, so I was going to say 2 games in a row there. They won me a reward this weekend as well. And you know, according to the SorareData app, even before this weekend, he was my number 3 card for like card count.
Wow.
For what he'd won me. And he's not won anything since game week like 2 or something like that. So
yeah.
So good to see 2.
That's the form you like, for sure.
That's it.
Nelson said we skipped his favorite Levante. Yeah, here they are.
Levante, that's a very good game. Mirandes they were really low in the league last year, and I was mentioning them last night because I won a card from their team. We managed to give them away successfully, which was good. But I think Mirandes, they're like bottom of the table end team, certainly. Yeah, where are they? Who
are they playing? I already missed it.
Mirandes, 13th in the league, so they've conceded 21 goals in 13 games, lost 6 out of the 13. They managed 5 wins, so they're just below mid-table.
I mean, only one club is Villarreal Dos. Is that what we're going to call them?
Yeah.
Have conceded more this year. So, all right. I see you, Nelson. All right. I will say, which I say all the time, but I'm probably going to mean it this week. I assume that most of the second division team, like players, are played in second division this week.
I'm not as sure. You know, I think there's a bit of a free-for-all in like All-Star, Under-23. and maybe even 240. Maybe even some people that are still playing, are really pushing for 270, because you want to win the best cards possible at the moment, and we just got Palmeiras obviously this week as well, so some fresh new shiny cards that we've never seen before. And one of the ones that caught my eye there was Hanover. I'm just waiting to see where. Yeah, so Hanover are playing bottom of the table Braunschweig, who have conceded 22 goals in 11 matches. They've only scored 7. They've won 1, drawn 2, lost 8. So Hanover, Levante, who we mentioned before. Let's see some of these clubs that are like traditional top tier teams that are still like languishing in the second tier. Like if they're playing against bottom of the table, you play them in All-Star or under 23 or normally 270 or maybe you're in 270 monthly, whatever you're up to, because that's an apex fixture.
I almost feel like Hanover should be bigger favorites. I mean, against a team that has scored 7 and conceded 22 is pretty wild after 11 matches. I don't know. All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Do you know it's always fun to see?
Every time I say it,
Bundesliga 2 right now. I was going to say Schalke are in the bottom 3. Sorry, but it's always fun to see that Schalke are not doing well.
Yeah. Every time I say second division Europe teams won't be huge, SR Monkey sends me like a screenshot on Tuesday, and it's like the top 5 in All-Star are all second division teams. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll take it. But yeah, it's
Levante and Hanover.
I'll stick by that. I don't think it's overly competitive. Who's Southampton have at Millwall?
Millwall, I think, have lost their manager, or they're trying to find a new manager or something. Okay. So that might not be actually that bad. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Blue Tomatoes was saying how Hamburg is
a derby. Ooh, and then their derby opponent is rubbish. That could be fun. Like, they don't rage quit it.
Right. Importing a game abort. So, yeah. All right. That's something to look out for. Maybe that's why they, the 56% win percentage, because there's probably a hidden 10% game cancellation. Good to know. Thank you, Blue Tomatoes. Appreciate that. Let's jump over to Asia quickly. As we said, obviously, Chinese Super League.
That's all there is. Kawasaki. Is this Champions League then?
Champions League, yeah.
Good.
Okay. All right, so we'll struggle to get those stats too, which is always a fun one. But as we know, Neymar not available for Al Hilal away to. Is that in Mumbai? Yeah. Did they play Mumbai after the last international break? Yeah, they did.
I think it's familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're probably in the Champions League stage where they do the wee double header in the middle of the group. Copied it.
Al Hilal with a 6-0 win the first time. Mitrovic with the hat trick.
Look at that fullback.
141.3 uncapped.
Mohamed Al Buriak. When you thought James Tavernier was OP.
He's just doing everything. Actually, let me see here. 2 tackles. No, he wasn't that close to a triple-double. Man. All right. Well, oh, wait. Did he have cards? No. Okay. Whew.
Imagine.
Right. All right. So I'm trying to see here. Let's see. Kawasaki plays some team out of Bangkok. BG Pathum.
Cool.
All right. That's there.
Sounds like Thailand or something. Bangkok. Cool. But yeah, these Asian Champions League ones always kind of throw me off as well in terms of like the cards. Like, so like I've got Isaka still at Ulsan. There'll also be people that watch this that have got Yokohama cards and maybe some random people that showed up some random places. And it's so hard to track. Even for the teams that we do have coverage for and like do have kind of news sources, like what is the rotation going to be? Who is going to start for it? There's a question in there asking me if Jota's going to play. I think whenever you've seen Jota recently play, I think he played a cup game or something like that, which is just like a Saudi Arabian cup match, you know. I think one was a friendly. Sorry, you've got something better.
I think he did play. I thought because when I think Benzema was ruled out late in a recent match and Jota played. Yeah,
we got one scored game.
Okay, yeah, 2 weeks ago. Al Qawa Al Jawiya. 27 AA in 73 minutes.
Yeah.
And with Benzema.
So that's the league. Oh, so see, the website I was looking at had a different logo for that, and I thought that was just a wee cup. See, because the team, where's that team from? They look like Saudi Arabian, or they're from Iraq. So I thought that was in a local cup that game, but it's actually So bad source for me. Apologies. But yeah, it's like but you do see some stuff on social media, and it's like friendlies, and it's like it's not the senior team. He's not actually featuring. Kind of idea.
We're going to play a quick game of who is this team, and I just clicked on it, but I'm trying to see who.
Oh,
it's Ulsan's opponent. Is this here Johor Darul Kazim FC? Where is this club, Quinny?
I should know because they're actually playing against them. I've not looked into it, but I'm going to guess the name's very Thailand, isn't it? So I'm going to say, Thailand or Vietnam. Thailand.
Malaysia.
Yeah.
Close.
Should have looked into it. Should have known you were going to ask me that one. I didn't know it. Should have known. Because I was looking at it thinking, I don't know this team. I don't recognise them. And I'm like, is Saka going to boss them? Is he going to play? Is that a bit of a journey? Malaysia won't be too bad. Malaysia will be good.
Nope.
Maybe Ulsan should run it. We hope.
I appreciate everybody in the comments.
Going for the guesses.
It's my favorite game, to be honest. So I do this to Gator Guy all the time. I'll send him like some player's scores, and I'm like, name this player, and he loves this game. And I was like, for as much as he likes that game, I like finding these gray badge teams and being like, Quinny, you're the only one that is reasonable to play with this game. I'm like, Quinny, what team is this? Anyway, so there's your Asia Champions League preview.
It's my highlight of Asia Champions League. It's my highlight of it, to be honest with you.
Okay, here we go. Ricky said, I watched the reverse Yokohama fixture. Is that who do they play? Kaya FC. He said it was basically attack versus defense, which.
Nice.
Oh, wait, this is Kaya. Like, this doesn't look very good.
I was going to say, yeah, it went 3-0. Not
right.
Get a green score.
To get those scores, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, sorry.
Pretty much the only one who didn't perform well was a 25th minute injury. Yeah.
That's handy.
Yeah. I got it. Did we decide where Kaya FC was?
I'm going to say Singapore.
Philippines.
Slipping.
Come on. Anyway, let's get out of Asia before we embarrass ourselves. Oh, wait. Mike said Bali United is the premium away game in AFC East. Is that really a team? I mean, surely.
Can I believe it? Bali. Oh, I think he's making a joke because it's like you want to go play them. You want to go to Bali for the away game.
Okay.
It's the premium away game. Is that? I think that may be it. I think it's everyone wants to go to Bali, chill out for a week.
I don't even know why I'm looking.
You couldn't not. Oh, they're not there. Quinny got it, yeah. Maybe they're not in the Champions League, but we want them in the Champions League. Is that what
we want them? Yeah. Just takes a little briefcase of money and they should get an automatic bid. Anyway, we've got America. Also, only two teams that are over 60% favorites: River Plate and.
I was going to say, Laird, on that note, did you know that Saudi Arabia will be hosting the next World Cup?
Is that decided already?
Yeah. Just on that big bag of briefcase note there, you dropped a foot. Oh, by the way, in case you missed it. 2032.
My favorite thing about that was when they announced the 28? That's the 3 continents. And they were like, wow, that's so special. And everybody ignored the rule that one continent can't host back-to-back. So they eliminated 3 continents from the bidding process in one World Cup. And then basically Asia was the only one that was left. And Saudi Arabia had the biggest bid of that. Anyway. Yeah, America, River Plate, America, Sporting KC in their home game against St. Louis after blasting St. Louis City SC in the opening fixture. And then Tigres I should be. It looks like I should be very excited given the number of players that I have in these games. So I feel like I should.
Palmeiras are there now. We can get tuned into them.
Who? Oh, Palmeiras. Yeah. I wonder how many people are going to start.
Now, Laird, the rumours that came to me, right, and people love to whisper rumours to me when these things happen. When this came out, people have said to me, "Oh yeah, like they're going to do all the Brazilian teams." Like, that's kind of people think that that's going to happen now. We're going to get all the teams in Brazil. What do you think? Is this the tip? We're going to get more.
So the only hesitation I have is, do they really need all of them? Like, if you have Palmeiras, if you can get Mineiro back, how many do you really need? And I feel like if they had the whole league, they would have started with like one of the bottom ones just to like whet the appetite a little bit. And everyone's like, oh, okay, we don't need that. And they're like, but we also have, and then they just drop them, a little mic drop at the end.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just lead with a bang. I don't know. That's a lot of that really expands the America region.
Yeah. It's especially the top 10 teams or something, but they're also good just to have access to, because obviously there's all the hype around Endrick, but every one of these clubs hemorrhages players like this into Europe all the time. And, maybe some of them don't really kick on to much, but some of them do, and that's half of this game is the scouting element and stuff like that. And the Brazilian division is one that I think lots of neutrals wouldn't mind. Like, I'll buy a wee Palmeiras stack. I'll follow Internacional or Fluminense or Flamengo if you can actually pick whoever you wanted. This is I like it. I like Brazilian league. So I hope it does come. But I think Palmeiras was a big one to start
I think
off.
from a longer term scouting perspective, I'm not sure there's a better league for them to add. Because just like you said, there are a lot, and even guys from Brazil go to MLS and then they go to Europe or they go directly. Like they do churn out some really, really good young players, and getting the opportunity to
like Cecília.
Exactly. But so it's funny you bring that up though, because it's almost like we want these teams, because it allows us to get all of these young players that could be like really big one day. But also it feels like everyone in that league could play until they're 50. And so you just have like this, early career utility. Then they go to Europe, play around for a little bit. Maybe they go to Korea or Japan, and then they come back when they're 39, play in Brazil for a little bit. If I joke, I like make fun of people who talk about like 10 years of utility for certain cards. I'm willing to accept it from Brasileiro cards.
Yeah, for sure.
20 years, if not.
And there's even a Red Bull team in that league, which makes it all the fun.
Yep.
So there's lots of stuff going on. Brazil could be good. I don't know. Endrick could be good fun. That's a big under-23 card to get tossed into the pool right now, isn't it, as well?
Charlie said they'll probably make the licensing money back just off the Endrick unique. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Like, I don't think there's another player like that in the world that is like so young. We already know his next step. The expectations are already sky high. Like, I feel like a lot of people will want that card. And
yeah,
there isn't another one right now. So we'll see. He's going in the summer, right? To Madrid?
The Brazilians can't leave until they're 18.
Okay.
So I believe he's like 16 on the card. I don't know if he's actually still 16 or if he's now 17, but
I think
Brazilians can't leave until 18. That's why they've done it with Vinny, Rodrigo, and then the guy I got, the Girona card I was talking to you about last week, Renier. Yeah. They've done it for years, but this is the latest little kind of crop where he's 17 now.
Yeah, so he'll be 18 in the summer.
Oh, there you go.
Like in July, so
that'll be it then.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so Palmeiras, big favorite this week, or moderately sized, I guess. I wonder how much. I mean, there probably aren't even enough rare auctions going right now. Maybe there are by the start of the game week. We'll see there. But yeah, nothing else overly exciting. I feel like MLS playoffs, the second leg is probably I mean, obviously teams can be eliminated at this point. So whoever lost the first leg surely will be going all out in the second, because if they lose, then it's done. And so that include like the Red Bulls and I guess St. Louis. If you think they can come back against Sporting KC, they have to do it in this match. So, but I don't know. MLS playoffs always, they just feel like a grind, and usually those games don't lead to a ton of high SO5 scores.
Yeah, I think this format, but is to try and manufacture as many kind of cup final moments as possible.
Yeah.
So you can't really rule it out, because that's the way it's been. It's the way the stage has been set. And football's got a habit of giving you some moments. So yeah, maybe depending on the deficit, some teams might be dead and buried, but it's not written off. It is. Some teams will be telling themselves it's over 3 games. We go there and we keep it going. So
yeah.
Hard to work how it'll judge out, Because I remember for Kansas as well, Johnny Russell DNP'd for me out of nowhere. I don't believe he was injured. I think it was like a choice, I believe. I might be wrong, but so that caught me off guard.
Yeah, I don't have a Russell, so I tend to only see the anger when he doesn't play. So
yeah.
But yeah, and then Shelton got an assist playing in his spot. I don't know if anyone in chat knows what's up with Johnny Russell and why he didn't play. That's helpful. Yeah, Glenn's just saying.
Oh, was he?
Always helpful. He's injured. He got benched. So I'm glad we figured that out.
Yeah.
Was he actually on the bench?
I got a flat 0 for him, and he was on predicted 11s. So I woke up to it in the morning. So it's just.
Yeah, it looks like he just stayed on the bench.
Yeah, just decided not to play him.
Yeah,
that's the way I seen it. Well, cheers, Kansas. Thanks a lot for your tactical genius in that 4-1 victory.
Glenn said he's been carrying an issue for a few weeks now. And then Kerry's asking if he's going to extend his contract. I feel like getting benched in a playoff game doesn't make you want to extend, but who knows?
Well, similar to the way is probably what all people think is when a very hard fixture this season, So I know he has been getting rotated and he has been carrying or something. So yeah, I can get that, because maybe you don't expect to beating St. Louis 4-1 is a pretty good result. Might have not been necessarily in the design of the plan.
Right. Yeah. Glenn said he goes to all the sporting games and he's been playing with something in his groin hamstring for ages. All right. Just seems like these are the games you plan, but I guess they can afford not to. Anyway, Forza River Plate. That's all I got to say about that. Challenger. Porto, Hajduk split, Feyenoord, PSV, Braga doesn't have many cards. Celtic again. Quinny, expecting any rotation after the midweek?
I'm nervous around the weather, to be quite honest with you. There's speculation that Dundee Rangers might not be going ahead, or maybe it's another game like that. So I'm tentative. I've kind of, so I was actually a wee bit late kind of coming on here. I got distracted because I was looking at the weather. That's what I was doing. And then I just totally lost track of time, and I seen your message. I was like, oh crap, it's 1 o'clock. So I don't know. It's a game we should be in amongst that top order for favourites as long as the game goes ahead. But we'll see how the game goes tonight. Tonight will really set the tone of, how we think the game will go. Because after this, we're away to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a management thing. So to go in there, but Hajduk, Porto, really good home teams. And then, like you say, those Dutch teams on top of us as well. I think they're probably a little bit on the same kind of path as Celtic in terms of what they're doing this weekend and then what they've got to look at. Like, all those teams play in Europe as well. So
sure.
There's a few things actually going on there that make the waters a little bit murkier. And I know the opposition are easy, but we've seen before when Feyenoord are playing an easy team at home and they've got a European game that's really important to them, they could just rest 3 guys if they want.
Yeah.
They could, they do that kind of thing. So not every coach whets their appetite and goes, oh, I can't wait to beat that team 8-0 for no reason, because, and play everyone for 90 minutes, even though we've got this really hard game 3 days later. So there's that bit of it to be kind of diced in.
I feel like there's also this situation where news comes out that 3 or 4 players will be rotated, but we don't know which 4 will be rotated. And then you're just there praying that the one that you have is the one who doesn't get rotated as opposed to the others. But yeah, Challenger looks very competitive this game week. Porto, Sporting, and Benfica, all big favorites. They all played cup matches last weekend. So they were like rested this midweek, I believe. And so we're expecting clearly expect a lot from them. A couple of the Turkish clubs, big ones, have good matchups. Even in Austria, Midtjylland are away but play the worst team in Denmark. I learned recently that they're a semi-pro team, that
Nice.
their opponent. So
Yes,
on,
go get it. Forward expected score 21.
I'll happily take it. All their forwards need to score some recently. Ajax, big favorites home against Heerenveen. So I bought Noppert and Bolshnevitz, if that's how you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Mats Kollert, who is a left back, but I have his forward card. And they played someone terrible last week, Heracles, I think. And finally, like Noppert's score graph is like one of the ugliest score graphs you'll ever see. But he finally came good this past weekend. So it's like, this is what he came in. The DNPs were with the Netherlands. But anyway, all we talk about is how bad Ajax are. They're playing midweek against Volendam. That's either today? I assume it's today.
I think it's today.
Yeah. Quick turnaround to play against Heerenveen. Are the odds a little too favorable for Ajax?
Well, Heerenveen are definitely not. It wasn't that long ago. I've seen this to somebody recently. It might have been us last week, maybe. But they've had Veerman in the past. They've had some players. Heerenveen are not a total pushover. I know they've not been in great form, but Ajax are at home. Good. Ajax are at home. They do have a new manager in town. I think it's Van Schip. I might have got the news wrong. I might be misremembering it, but I think they've got a new manager in, and that kind of thing at Ajax. If they've got a new guy in and then get everyone in the building singing on the same hymn sheet at home to Heerenveen, it's a game that Ajax probably should win 3-1 or something like that. Maybe 3-2, maybe it's 2-1. It might not be a 5-0 or something, but it's a game Ajax probably do win. If you've got an pair, obviously you're just hoping they don't concede the 3, and it could be really good scores. Like a guy like that doesn't. If he concedes 1 or 2, that could be like 65 on AA, no problem.
Yeah. Mike is saying, Ajax Volendam is Thursday.
Oh, is it?
So I'm guessing this. So
we've got to sweat after the game tonight then.
Yeah. Let's see, we got Zagreb away. Everyone who got excited with their Sint-Truiden stacks against Eupen this weekend. Why not?
Oh, yes.
Trying to see if there are any bigger clubs here that we...
I was going to say, it kind of dies off there, doesn't it? It just goes into nothing.
Yeah.
So let's see. Volendam's tomorrow at 7:00. And PSV. Oh, yeah, it was 5-2, wasn't it? Oofed. PSV done a number on them at the weekend.
There you go. Besiktas. Not overly favorable against Antalyaspor. Antwerp hosting Genk. So obviously Genk. Oh yeah, USG Bruges. That'll be a good match this weekend. At least for those the non-card holders, that should be a nice one.
Yeah, that's a good nullifier.
Yeah, nothing else too crazy.
Sturm Graz Linz is normally one that two kind of stacky teams a wee bit, aren't they? Like budget teams.
Does it seem like the Russian clubs really haven't been that good this year? Like any of them?
I don't think anyone uses them. Like, to be honest with you, I don't think I ever see anyone. Like, I don't think any new user looks at them. You were talking about new users and the reality of what new users actually do yesterday. I don't think any of them look at Zenit or Spartak or anything. I never see teams.
The total lack of auctions makes some cards just disappear.
Yeah. They're just totally off the radar.
Right. I talked about that with Andy, I think a while ago, that even cards of players who are no longer minted, you would think that prices go up because you're like, there's not as much supply, but really just people don't want them. It's not that the number of people on the platform almost doesn't matter. You just need the number of people who are interested in those cards. And if they're not in the auctions, then they're not seeing those players' names. People don't even think about it. And nothing. I mean, Zenit still look like they should be very good, and yet it doesn't seem like. Yeah, it's like Douglas Santos, and that's it.
Yeah.
I guess that's unfair to Wilmar Barrios. Sam Ty will never talk to me again if I don't mention how good Barrios has been this season.
Barrios is good. I thought he left, to be honest with you.
Probably should have. Some crazy scores with no decisives.
How's Safanov scoring since Krasnodar are top of the league? The old U23 goat. Still handy, isn't he?
It's pretty solid. I thought he was supposed to leave.
I think so too. I think it's really hard to get players out of Russia. Russians, especially Zakarian or whatever we call him. Yeah. He just went to Sociedad, and I think that was quite hard to make happen. You know, in terms of the actual transfer and the hoops around it all. There's been a lot of non-Russians get transferred out of Russia easy enough, but there's not been any. I think he's the first Russian to do that. One at Sociedad. I think it's seen as exceptional circumstances, you know, by the people involved in it or something. I'm not too sure, but.
For some reason, were there Zenit links for Safanov?
I think so, but I think a lot of the chat that I remember picking up on is like Krasnodar don't want to do the deal, and I think he said he would rather be at Krasnodar as well than play for Zenit. He wouldn't do it out of like, I'd rather be the captain here and be the man.
Yep, I could see that. Charlie said he thinks the winter break puts most off Russia. That certainly plays into it for sure. I was talking to somebody literally yesterday about. They were looking to move into Rare, and it was like, oh, what about what teams should I be looking at? Like the first thing was like, don't go to Russia, don't go to Austria if you want to play in the next 3 months because that break is just so long. You don't realize how long it is until you have cards from there, and then by the time they're back, MLS is back, K League, J League, like everyone is playing at that point, so it's almost like you're missing out on everything. Anyway. Let's jump over to Champion. Man City home against Bournemouth. Whew. Who do Man City have next week in the Champions League?
Oh, young boys. City are taking the league more seriously than the Champions League at this portion of the season, you know, in terms of the rotation. It's like the best team, even if it is Bournemouth, they'll play the best team and they'll make sure they get the win. You know, they won't take it lightly. In my experience anyway. And you know, big result, obviously, in the Manchester derby last week, but they're not top of the table. They need to win every game. And, you know, I don't see them taking any prisoners at all.
Yeah, they're only third thanks to, is the second tiebreaker goal scored? Do I remember that correctly?
Probably, yeah.
I think it was differential. So level on points with Arsenal, level in goal differential.
Yep.
Arsenal had one more goal. I thought that's what it was. Anyway, Man City, Liverpool, PSG, Real Madrid, Napoli. All clubs we've heard of.
Napoli's game is good.
They're away. Yeah. Never know.
That's away, yeah, sure. But
what is that? Milan against Udinese. Leverkusen away. That's another one like before midweek. They do play Thursday. And like they do rotate for those games though. So it's not like all of their players are going to be...
That's a perfect game for, is it Frimpong or is it Grimaldo? Because there's going to be a lot of goals conceded in that game, you know, so who will come out top on that game is wee Frimmy. But, you know, because Hoffenheim could score 3 and Leverkusen could score 5 or something. It could be one of those ones. So that'll be a fun one to watch the scores rock in for. Not a good game to have any defenders or goalkeepers for either team, to be quite honest with you.
I was going to say, I wonder how much Hoffman playing affects Frimpong, but it seems like they're perfectly fine together. Maybe the answer is just both, Quinny. Maybe we've avoided the answer the whole time, and it's just both.
Do you think people could handle playing 2 fullbacks in one team, but...
I mean, let's see how they line up here. I mean, they score fairly.
I know everyone that plays double defender that I see has a centre back and a full back. Yeah. You know, going double full back maybe a wee bit too crazy for some people.
Maybe that's the key to breaking the collection stacking ties.
Double fullback.
Right, because everybody's playing Grimaldo and Tapsoba or Ta, or who's the other one?
Odilon.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Roma, Stuttgart without Guarassi, Atletico Madrid away, and then there's Der Klassiker that you were referencing earlier, and then the big W derby, Wolfsburg against Berger.
The big green W derby. Love that.
If there are ever two teams that you would like mix up just based on logo, it's this. Like, this is it. That's all.
Oh, I love that. The W derby. That's fantastic. I do think the Lyon game is way misread. I think Lyon will spank Metz. I think Lyon could probably want to be the highest scoring victories in that list. If you know what I mean, they could win probably 4-0, 5-0 in theory. Very good game for them, and they're at home. Oh,
they just need to get out of their own way and get this guy more minutes.
So you might be surprised to hear this, Laird, but Scotland in the Sorare Community World Cup have qualified from the group stages and we're now in the knockout rounds. I had almost nothing to do with this because it's an all-star limited competition and we just about scraped through, which is fantastic. So I had to go and buy a striker because I don't have Talos Magno to rely on every week because he's been brilliant at limited level, And I went out and I got Lacazette for, I think, like 20 quid. And I think we're going to get some goals out of Lyon this weekend.
Oh,
I can't remember what I paid for him, but it's like wherever he goes for. Limited, obviously. But hundreds, that's what we're shooting for.
68. I mean, that's a heck of a opponent score. Jeez.
Scotland to win the World Cup.
Yeah, we'll check his pick score lately, or his pick score coming up. I'm guessing his form is bad, but everything else looks quite enticing.
I'll tell you a rookie mistake I made alongside this, but because I thought when I was looking at the Lyon team, I thought I'll maybe pick up another player in case, I don't have that many limiteds, in case I need somebody to fill in last minute at the deadline. And I went and bought a Corentin Tolisso for like £2 or something like that, really, really cheap. And he's scoring and playing all the time really, really well for Lyon. And the one thing this is the rookie mistake. I have maybe never known this. If I did know it, I've clearly blatantly forgotten it. But in France, if you get 3 yellow cards in the first 10 games, you get a 1-match suspension. So Tolisso is actually yellow card suspended for the next match, which is apparently the case and very frustrating for me. Because I've never seen any. I get if it's like 8 yellows, like it's 3 after the 5 or something. I've seen that thing, I think, maybe happen once or twice. But anyway, so raging. I spent £2 on him. I can't use him this week, but so yeah, rookie mistake. Always double check the yellow cards and what league they're in.
For some reason, I also thought. I mean, obviously, it must be a different league because did they not play in 4-9? No, they must not have. Because I thought in France there was like a disciplinary committee that ended up pushing the suspension back like another game. So it's almost like you got your whatever number yellow, played one more game, and then you were suspended. I really thought that was France, but maybe not. But I guess that
wee story rings familiar, but I can't remember the details of it. But yeah.
Did they not?
No, I just checked the results there. There's the 22nd against Clermont in the league was the last match for them.
Okay. Yeah.
In all comps. So yeah, wee rookie mistake.
Okay, Belgium. Appreciate that. Let's see. Man United away to Fulham. Not really favored that heavily. Tottenham home against Chelsea. I feel like that should be. I feel like they're giving Chelsea too much credit here.
I think so too. I think it'll be a good game for Tottenham. I made a wee funny video on my channel this week, Laird, kind of trying to work out when Ten Hag will get sacked. And I think, like if you look at the fixture list, if you know what I mean, like you can kind of trying to work out where it might happen. They're playing Newcastle. I think it's tonight in the League Cup, and Newcastle are like ravaged with injuries, so they'll probably get that little token win and everyone will be like, "Oh, they won in the League Cup. They beat Newcastle," you know, and everyone will kid on for a day or two. Everything's fine. But if you go away to Fulham and Fulham can score some goals, like that could be a real banana skin game to slip up on for old Eric Ten Hag.
Away to Copenhagen is not the easiest match either.
And then that's a European fortress, Laird.
Yeah.
You know, every team in Europe is scared to go to Copenhagen.
I would love to go to Copenhagen. Home against Luton probably saves the job for a little bit.
Yeah. And then it's an international break, and then after that, it gets really ugly. It gets really ugly really quick. And if you look all the way through that period before you get to January, Yep. Yeah, Tottenham's the first game in the new year. So yeah, it's a tough time for Man U.
Yeah, like these to watch. Yeah, these 3 are 3 straight game weeks too. Like the midweek, that's Boxing Day.
Yeah, probably
let's see, Christmas is a Monday, I think. So, I don't know. One of those is Boxing Day. Anyway, Barcelona away to Sociedad, Inter away to Atalanta.
Fun games. Not good for SO5. Building a team and being confident with it, but
right. Yeah.
Same with Marseille Lille as well. So I was kind of saying there's a lot of those games going on this week where it's everything bumping. Arsenal, Newcastle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some very good ones. So
I feel Champions quite open this week. Yeah. I'm putting a Champions Super Rare team together, and I'm quite confident. I've got honestly see like this week, Laird, like my midfielders are almost inseparable. Like they're almost all identical, and it's so hard to pick between them all in terms of so it's really hard. And anyway, I was looking at the fixtures. That's why I kind of noticed Leon. I kind of noticed some of their stuff from earlier, but I do think Champion, and as a result, probably the entire game week is rather open, which, like we were talking about earlier, some of those D2 cards in All-Star and Under 23, some of them are like, they've got a real, like Hanover versus Braunschweig, we were talking about earlier, the derby, it's top versus bottom. Like, that's probably one of the best games we've seen today, I think.
You might be changing my opinion on it. That's fair. City
Bournemouth is cool, and there's a few ones there, don't get me wrong, but so many of the other ones that are like influential teams are lock-stocked. Or you've got teams like Feyenoord, Celtic, we've got European commitments, or there's other stuff going on. You've got the Turkish teams that rotate like mad. Then you get PSG, Real Madrid, fine. Benfica, fine, I guess. But, it's a really open game week, I think, in a lot of ways. And with 270 not being a weekly pair, like we mentioned when that started, those captain guys that everyone's got in their gallery that would have been the guy that kicks a 270 team off, there's just a lot of real variance on the competition strength. I noticed at the weekend, it was really tough to pull cards at the weekend, even with decent scores.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it isn't normally, but, I thought the weekend was extra tough.
Quinny, David Raum or Di Lorenzo this week?
I think Napoli's fixture's a bit better, to be honest with you. I do like Leipzig playing Mainz, but Napoli against Salernitana should be a clean sheet. Mainz might score against Leipzig, so that's what I would probably split it on.
2%.
Good defensive score, I suppose. But yeah, Mainz could score. It's Germany, it's Leipzig. There's no clean sheets there, but Napoli might.
Yeah, I like it. Let's check some pick scores quickly. We're defaulting to the AC Milan.
This is also one of my favorite bits as well. Seeing who pops out is any funny wee gems from yesteryear or we guys to watch out for. Big Felipe, the GOAT.
How's he been? Ooh. All right, I see you. Isn't this what's his name?
Have you ever watched Chinese Super League, Laird, out of curiosity? See my mate, right?
I'm a little bit like Trip and B that I'm not sure it actually exists. Nobody's ever really seen it. We never know when it's happening. We just shows up in the lineup builder and you're just like, oh, okay. Scores show up, but there are never any highlights.
I guess I'm a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. I'm just telling you, when was the last time you saw a highlight from a Chinese Super League match? And some of these scores are crazy.
I've not seen Oscar score a worldie in about 2 or 3 years. I'll make it quite right.
Have you even seen Oscar do anything in the last 3 years? Nobody knows he's there.
Is he even Oscar? Maybe a hologram by this point. But
Quinny, I'm telling you, I've seen some crazy AI stuff out there that I wouldn't be surprised. Where is oh wait, he's in. Who does he even
friend
play
of mine
for again?
I can't remember him. I was going to say, but a friend of mine does some contracting work in China, or he has done in the past anyway. And when I was telling him it was so rare, the first thing he said to me was, "Is China in it?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he's like, "Oh, you want to find the players that are good in there." And I was like, "Why do you think that?" And he's like, "See, all the locals." He's like, "You'd get a game, Quinny." That's what he said. Aye, so like I was like, okay, cool. And then like I've always had that in the back of my head, but just curious. But I just thought I'd ask you that because that memory came to me.
Look, apparently they only have one game left, but if all of a sudden they just kept playing, I don't think anybody's going to be like, "Oh no, I thought the season was over." Like nobody knows this. Yeah, this is like Trippin' B said this to me once, and it's one of those things. He's one of those people who he says something, and you're like, obviously he's joking, and then you take another second, and you're like, maybe he's not joking. And now I'm fully convinced that the Chinese Super League doesn't exist. Anyway,
I'm with you.
Jun Ichimori. Somebody mentioned earlier that this Marinos match.
We should.
So
Laird, I think we should. It's only proper we should say at this point that neither of us would kill ourselves. It's only safe to say that at this point that we've revealed this conspiracy to everyone. That none of us, we are very happy.
Very, very happy.
Yeah. If anything happens to us, then it's those guys.
Yeah. Never mind. I love the Chinese Super League. It's my favorite league in the world. Whenever it's on. Anyway, Jude Bellingham apparently is a good play this week.
Yeah, it's one that's a wee derby as well. By the way, Vallecano are in Madrid, so there's a little derby element that goes on with those games. So follow up El Clasico with a wee Madrid derby.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good game for them, I think.
3 straight
warming
home
up
games
as well.
3 straight home games, and then international fixtures against Malta and Macedonia for Jude Bellingham. My God!
Wow. He's going to win it. They're just going to need to do the Ballon d'Or next week, aren't they? After those results.
Realistically, I mean, it seems so silly to say like if he keeps this up because these scores are absurd. But surely he's the front runner right now, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's the best player in the world, hands down. But you say that like we spoke about it on spoke about on this channel regularly on all the shows, but it's repeatable actions, and if you watch Real Madrid, like he is great, but he's not doing anything that incredible, like he's not Ronaldinho or Zidane, but he's like dribbling. I know he does go by people and stuff like that, but he's not like rainbow flicking and doing. He's not doing anything flashy. That unimaginable. He's a midfielder. He goes box to box. He's stronger than everyone. He's faster than everyone. He plays good passes. He takes good shots. You know what I mean? And he's kind of done that every time we've watched him play football. So there's no reason to think he's going to stop doing that now.
I also feel like, this isn't going to play exactly how I wanted to, but there is an inherent ability to be in the right place at the right time. And the player that always was that for me, because this is going to show I picked up football late in my life, but the player that I felt like got more out of the ability to be in the right place at the right time, more than any other player I ever watched, was Frank Lampard. That the guy was always there for the right tap in, and you were just like, why is he there? And you're just like, he's there because that's the right place at the right time. And Jude feels like that in some of these goals, like you said, they're not these wonder strikes, not that many of them, no rainbow, he's not doing all of these really fancy things, but there is an absolute ability to know where to be and when to be there at the exact right time. And Jude Bellingham has that, and he's completely taken advantage of it.
Love the Lampard shout, by the way. And I think like the converse to this is Kvaratskhelia, because he can't sustain scoring a goal on the wing every game where he takes on half the team and then chips it over the goalkeeper and nutmegs him while he's at it. And, that's different. He can't sustain that forever. Surely that will go in its fits and spurts. But yeah, Lampard's a great example for that. Love that.
Anyway, This Mbappe kid's supposed to be good this week, I guess.
Yeah.
There's Grimaldo.
Good game.
Uh-oh.
There's Grimmy.
Frimpong only a lowly A as Grimaldo gets the AAA badge this weekend. But yeah, I don't think there's anybody overly surprising here. There's Harry Kane. Oh, Harry Kane against away to Dortmund. That's a pretty good one. That despite still a AAA. Quinny, have you ever had a Johannes Handel card?
I've not, but I've heard his name spoken by many.
I have almost bought his super rare for like $3 so many times, and I'm just like, this guy stinks, and he finally does not.
Wow. Yeah, there's some scores.
Like he had this little run here, and then he got hurt, and then I think I was going to buy him around here, and I was like, what am I going to do with this card? And then finally, he's the classic example of patience. Chani said Mbappe kid, he's like a grandpa to Harry trades now. That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, he is. He's aged out. Luis Suarez is up there for AAA. There's Kvaratskhelia too. What good AAAs?
What year is it? Luis Suarez at AAA?
Yeah. Well, he's apparently going to be getting one more year of Suarez. Laird, they're making way for him.
Really?
Joseph Martinez is going to be getting shipped out of Miami.
Man. Yeah.
And he's going to get he's going to be going up to that retirement village that they're building up there. Beckham Grove, I think they call it. Beckham Acres, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, he seems fine for MLS as long as he can play.
Oh yeah, he'll be lethal.
I mean, at this point, I think you could say he's better than Josef, who's just like a shell of himself. Ian Sorare said, I swear he pays, it's talking about Handel, the Opta guy in Austria. He does nothing. He gets 20 AA. That's how it feels. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, here's Haaland right behind Juan Brunetta and ahead of Kavicha there, forward card. Who's the cheapest guy we can get other than Ichimori at $16 for his limited? Here we go. Oh, LGP. No. $6.72 for the, what is that? Third best defender this game week? Who says no? Blue Tomatoes was asking us if we saw the Rock's Halloween costume. He was dressed up as Beckham.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
It was good. He looks more like, what's the guy's name again? Oh, what's the guy's name? Blonde guy. Does the action movies and stuff. Nah. Oh, what the hell's his name again? He's in one of the Iron Man movies and stuff. Like you see, who does he look like? It looks like, what the hell's the guy's name? I want to say Iggy Pop, but it's not Iggy Pop. It's that's a singer. But he does also look a wee bit like Iggy Pop if he was jacked. But what's the guy? He looks like he's a wrestler. He did the movie The Wrestler. Who's the guy who did that movie? Oh, what the hell's his name? He's pure famous. I thought you looked at him. Maybe check it for myself. I'm going to investigate.
Let me see here. Oh, Mickey Rourke?
Yes, Mickey Rourke. That's what I thought he looked like. Jeez. It's like The Rock is Beckham, isn't it? A wee bit? No, maybe not.
Anyway.
Hulk Hogan, great shout.
Actually, was at a Halloween party last night and somebody dressed up as Hulk Hogan. Anyway, let's check some U23s. Anyone? I mean, obviously Jude's going to be the top here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There he is.
Has to be. And then
we got a little Fofana goalkeeper AAA.
Nice. Hiya. How much is he?
Yeah, right?
Not bad at all.
Oh, things you love to see. Recent buyer, problem trader. Go. I like this. Would The Rock look like Bjorn Borg?
Bjorn Borg. That's
see
a good
that
one.
With the hair? Yeah. Anyway. Kavicha. There we go. Vinny Jr., Hallen. So I was talking about Brian Mbuemo. I feel like I always try to like as soon as I know how to say his name, and as soon as I see it, I can't say it. Does that make sense?
It's always when you've got those
yesterday that he wasn't
ones.
40 years old. What's that?
It's always those names that are sometimes they can trip you, can't they?
Consider me tripped. Anyway,
but he does look very old. I can't believe his age either.
Like somehow this guy, I guess he's already 24, but he has that nice August birthday. Maybe it's the beard. Maybe he shaves it and he looks like he's 17. It's one of those guys. Anyway, I think all the usual suspects are here. Let's goalkeeper wise. Let's just go to rare for fun. Where are we there?
Spice it up a bit.
Man, there are just so many contests these days. Oh, Diogo Costa, fun.
Very competitive. A lot of guys there.
Mm-hmm. I guess, yeah, when we're saying that two or all three of the big, well, actually, Braga did too, but they're unminted. But of the three previously minted Portuguese teams, two of them have U23 goalies. And if they're big favorites this week, then obviously we're going to get those guys at the top here. Ugh.
Trubin time.
I guess so.
Liam King's in the chat. He's a Hearts fan. He's asking if we've seen the Hibs result last night. Yes, I did. It's a good one for the leaderboards.
Alex is saying Tangvik should be at a single A.
At home to Mulder. That'll be a hard game. Why should they be triple A or Mulder rubbish? Have they lost all their players or something?
I think Alex might have a Tangvik. That's why.
Oh, okay. I forgot it gives it extra powers.
Here we go. Penalty saving mode. That's
nice.
All right. Let's check out our quick. Mike Basson said you have no problem with Mbappe, but you do with Mbuemo. Yeah, I do. It's the second M, I think, that trips me up. I will also say that I learned on my last SorareData trip, when I'm speaking with a bunch of people who live in France, that the correct pronunciation, which everybody avoids, is just Bappe. That the M is almost silent, and it should be Kylian Bappe, but we refuse to drop the M, and so we're mispronouncing his name. Ricamon said Benfica's still on the list, but no new cards yet. This is correct. No new cards yet, which is a bummer. This is Cap 240 rare. Forgot to take all the. I was like, wow, that's a lot of goalies that are good values this week. But
yeah,
although they're still here.
Sorare, love that. And there's a 0 as well. That's good if he's playing.
I don't even know who this guy is.
Chibois. Sebastian Chibois.
Yes. Or actually, I don't know if it should be Buemo, because is he French? I actually don't even know. Wait. I might not pronounce or spelling his name right. Wait. I don't know. Yes. Just say yes.
It's always funny when it's not you doing this.
Yeah, right. Anyway, Vinny Jr. here. A 50, but a AAA for. I can't imagine anybody plays him in Cap 240, but yeah, you do you.
Yeah.
What we got here? Maxwell.
Ooh.
Imafi. He
Yeah.
doesn't look good at all.
He's probably just expected to outscore himself, isn't he?
Yeah, I think this is a bottom of the table matchup, right? Holstein and Osnabrück.
Oh, good.
If they're not both last. No, I take it back. I don't know why he's there, but you're right. It's probably just because he can outscore 23 just by starting.
Yeah.
You got Pote here. There's Marvin, who hasn't been that great.
No, he's not been. Cho,
this is what you really love to see. A AAA for Alexander Maxim.
Oh yeah, next fixture at home. Alistair Johnson, Trevor Carson. A lot of good AAAs there, eh? A lot of them are around that. I see a lot of guys in this, and it's probably part of the reason they are rated AAA, but a lot of them are underrated, under the 50 mark. A lot of them are 48s, 41s.
Yep.
So a lot of good options this week.
Alex shouting out the Sorare Scandinavia Discord with Clayson and Frizel. So Frizel's starting for.
Ooh.
This will change because he will definitely start for Midtjylland. Yeah, he will definitely start against the semi-pro team. Clayson, I feel like, is one that just plays 26 minutes or comes off with 20 minutes left. Has he ever? Oh, I guess he played 90 last week against. There it is, Hividov.
Herbivore.
Herbivore? No, that's too easy.
I said herbivore. That's the way I say it.
Oh yeah, and Diogo Gonçalves, which is also not how you say that, was injured last night.
Oh,
so for Copenhagen, it'll be maybe Clayson. I don't think Clayson.
Maybe Larson gets a start again. That'd be good.
Which one?
Larson. We get Larson back in the team. That'd be nice.
He is dreadful. I'm just going to say it like that.
He's not actually dreadful. He's actually amazing. But Copenhagen are dreadful. Jordan's amazing.
Right here. Larson, the BCM king.
No, he's not. He needs to get playing. He needs to be playing.
No. Quinny, I'm going to guess that let me see how easily I can do this. Last 15 games, big chances missed, 5.
That's nothing.
4 in the last 5 games.
That's nothing. He's got to be in the right position to take the shots,
Right. He's Lampard.
And in the last 4 games,
right how many? At the right time. He just can't finish.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. He's shown exactly what you want him to be doing. But how many minutes has he had in the last 5 games? I bet he doesn't even add up to 90. 122. Not far. So over 5 games, he's played 2 hours worth of football.
And he has 4 big chances missed.
It's very good at being in the right place at the right time. He needs to get playing.
90.
Exactly. If he plays at 90, gets on a run of form, gets playing, the Wooly of Europe. No. Jordan's the man.
Everyone says Haaland gets this in 1 game. Haaland will get the goal as well. Larson scores. Oh my God.
Pure boy.
By the way, I definitely bought him here after this 72.
Because that's the way it should be. He should be playing. He should be playing every week and getting. That's the way it should be. He should be playing up front, run that left. But the problem is they've got some other guys that are actually pretty good in that team. Like that wee guy Rooney, they want to play him because they'll be able to sell him for a bucket of money really soon. And then I can't remember the whole team. El Yunus, he's pretty handy. They've actually got a good outfit. It's a hard team to get into.
Good. They are definitely good. He is not though.
He is. He is, and he will be. Where could he go to? He'll leave Copenhagen and he'll save somebody. Watch this space. Barcelona. That's where he'll go. Go to Barca. That's it. To save them. Post Lewandowski. Yeah. Post Felix. No, not post Felix. So keep Felix. Aye.
I was going to make a joke about going to Espanyol because he's not actually going to play for Barcelona, but I don't even know if he'd play for Espanyol.
He definitely would get a game for Espanyol. No 2 ways about it.
What about
back to Celtic? Yeah, I would probably take him about now. But the problem is it's probably you want to buy a guy like that when they've still got something going for them. You don't want to buy a guy like that because you're the best option for them, or you're the best. Do you know what I'm getting at? You're the best option at the time. If we went in for him when he was leaving Russia, he probably wouldn't have came to us, if you know what I mean. But now you kind of get a game at Copenhagen, So it's one of those ones. I don't like buying players for Celtic in that spot. You want players that are on the way up, not ones you need to pick up and dust off.
Blue Tomato said they should buy Larson and sell Lewandowski. He's easy. And Charlie said he should just go back to Russia. Maybe. You don't think a Celtic homecoming would rejuvenate him?
Oh, yeah. I think it'd be great for us. But I just don't think Celtic in general would. Or maybe they would. I don't know. They could get him cheap enough. Celtic love cheap players. So if he was cheap, then yeah, maybe they would.
I can't believe that's the longest Jordan Larson conversation I've ever had. That one right there.
It's probably one of my shortest.
I believe that too. Thank you to everybody for joining. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to this guy here who is putting in all the heavy lifting here on this show. So Quinny, thank you very much for all of that help. As a reminder, let's see, what is today? Wednesday, we've got our first collection time only. Later today, me, Gator Guy, and Nep talking about collections. And then tomorrow is the big Victor Wembanyama unique auction watch. So everybody come in and check that out. And then Sorare Andrews on Friday. So thank you, everybody, and good luck this game week.